Today I'm going to do a walkthrough of a recently launched website, brinkpm.com. We're here on the home page, and this is a WordPress powered website that is mostly updatable by the client. You'll see we have some drop-down navigation with images and then links to both local pages and then off-site links which have these symbols. We have two-column content. This area here is kind of the sitemap that lives on the bottom of all pages, and then a footer which has contact information and more links to other pages that aren't necessarily need to be focused on, say, the employee portal or careers. They don't need to be part of the primary navigation. So that's the site. Let's go to the back-end dashboard where I'm already logged in here. And here's the dashboard. This video is actually going to show right in this section where it says websitevalet.com news. We'll have the video for learning how to run or manage the back end of this project. Will be right there, easily accessible whenever needed. Here on the right are the site statistics, kind of basic ones that are pulling straight off the site, and you can click right here, site stats, and this is going to take you to a page that actually has more complete details of what's going on with who's visiting, where they're coming from, what pages they're looking at. This was just activated this morning, so that's why we only have 1 day of information. I'm going to go back to the home page real quick and click careers, because I'm going to show you how we have some careers listed here. This one's property manager with details, then leasing agent with details, administrative assistant with details. And rather than this just being a plain page, we have a section here called jobs. I'm going to click all jobs, and we'll see that those three are listed. So what's happening, basically, we're pulling a database, and that's what's showing up on this page. It's not necessarily a static page where you just enter information, but rather it's managed on the back end here. So if I click edit, it's just like a standard WordPress editing page. You're going to have the name or the title, which in this case is the job title, and then right here, just basic information about the job. Click update, and it will show on that page. We have a section here called posts. I'll click all posts, and right now there are no posts here. They're actually located in the trash because they were all demo posts. Let me restore number 6 just for this demo. When I click restore, it's going to go back to the regular page where all the posts are, as you can see. So this is for posts and pages specifically. When we click edit or the title, that'll take us in the edit mode, but we can also do what's called a quick edit, and that lets us kind of change some things about this post. For example, the news category, or what real estate category, whatever category we want to classify this post for. One other thing that's a good thing to turn off pings, so I would recommend you do that. So I'll hit update, and again, that's just kind of giving you the basic information. Actually, let me do it one more time. So you can do your post title and your slug. That's the address. Like, for example, this one is careers, so it's the part of the address after the domain name. That's what we're doing here. Now let's click the title, and we'll go really into the page about the post. So again, this is got 2 categories: Brink news and real estate blog. I have them classified for both, but in reality, you'll probably have a post will either be Brink news or real estate blog. And I think the intent there is Brink news is information about the company, and real estate blog will be general topics on real estate and whatnot. So again, we have the title up here. The address, which you'll see right here, automatically is created. You can click edit if you want to change that. Click OK. Do your content. Right here, this is called the featured image. If we go, and let's see, let's go to real estate blog. You'll see here, if we had more than one post, they would all list here. And basically you have your title and then an excerpt and read more. The read more, and of course, hovering over the title is going to take you to the complete page with all the information. This here is a thumbnail of the featured image, which is what we're talking about back here. And you'll see the sizing on that featured image needs to be 960 wide pixels by 425 high. Now, it can be smaller, it's just not going to format as well on the page. So when I click to go see the actual post, you'll see it shows the full image here at the top, then the title, then the complete information about the post, tells you what categories. If I were not logged in right now, it would have my name, email address. I'd fill out, put that, hit submit comment, and then the website administrator would administer those comments and only allow approved comments to show. Now let's go back. That being said, if you recall when we were here at the quick edit, one option was to allow pings and allow comments. So for the blog, commenting is probably a good thing. Let people talk about whatever the topic is, but you might not want to do that if you have a news item. So you click that to turn off comments. So that's kind of how posts work, your blog, your news. I'm going to click trash to throw this out since it was just a demo post. Oh, I wonder why I did that. It's possibly because the author is different. So if that's what the error was, but it did move it to the trash. Anyway, okay, let's go to pages. Pages are very much like posts. Let's go to tenancy criteria page so you can see what that looks like. So you'll see that we kind of have a hierarchy going. So available properties is the main level, and then the tenancy criteria is a subpage. And you'll see that here in the address here. It says available properties, then a / tenancy criteria. And so that's reflected here. Let's hit edit, and we'll go in and see what our options are for this page. There's actually quite a few. And let's look. So you'll see we have 2 columns here of data. So usually in WordPress, there's just one block of content. But since we're doing columns, we're using a special editor, I guess you would say. So normally on WordPress, you'll see the visual tab, the text tab. So visual is kind of what you would come to in most cases, kind of like the posts that we were just in. You'll see there's no content here. And whenever you have a situation like that, that's when you want to use this builder tab. And this tab lets us do some more styling, and it's actually used quite a bit throughout this website. So you'll see here we have 2 columns. When I click right here, this is the edit screen, so that'll click, and you can see now we're in kind of a normal situation where we can make our edits and click the check mark to save those edits. And then this is the other column over here, general requirements. So we'll see over here again. Let's go back to the home page. Here it is, general requirements. So that's how the 2 columns are actually edited. We have a featured image here, or the header image. Again, the sizing tells you 960 by 425, and that is true except for this page. Literally, actually, available properties I believe has a smaller too. So it's the correct width, but the height is not the same, and that's fine if you want to go with that. You'll see most of the pages have the taller image, and if we go to available properties, it's smaller, and that's fine. The key is the width. So 960 pixels wide. So all these images you use for this header image, or what's called the featured image for posts, You need to make sure they're web optimized before you load them, and make sure they're sized correctly. That's really the key to having a good looking website, is to make sure your images are all correct. So that's all the pages and how you would edit them. Let's go back to the page list, and I'll see if we have a regular page. I don't think we do. I think most of the pages, just like this one, they are going to be using that that builder tab for this site. So you'll be in that a lot. This is taking a while, the server, for some reason. Let's just go under widget content, and we'll talk about what widget content is. So WordPress is made up of widgets. You kind of have the main content area, which is what this is here, and then there's widgets. And literally, this is a widget, the Bellevue office address, the Seattle office address, this area where the form is. So we basically have 1 widget, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 5 columns of widgets here basically, and I'll show you how those are all edited, because that's under the widget content here. So see where it says footer affiliate logos. When I hit edit, we'll go in here and we'll see these images are all with affiliate logos are just horizontally laid out. When you get in here, you'll see it's really just a bulleted list, and you just replace your images. What I've done is, you'll see the width doesn't matter so much, but I do have all these at the same height, so they look nice, because this widget, which is what this is right here, is programmed to have them just wrap out horizontally. And so if you get more logos, they'll actually wrap underneath, so you have 2 rows essentially. So again, the key here is to kind of keep the height right. So just like with the featured image, you want to make sure sizing is important. So let me see if I just right clicked on the Northwest Multiple Listing Service, and you'll see this tells me that my height is 48 inches or pixels. So that's the key, that all these are 48 pixels high. Width, again, doesn't really matter. Let's see if we can look at another widget. The social works the same way, and you'll see when I edit the office address. So these names are kind of intuitive. You can figure out which widget is for what. Really basic here. We just have the Bellevue office address. Super easy to update, hopefully intuitive. Customer reviews. This is this yellow bar here, which is rotating, and this is a little harder to understand, I guess you would say. You can see all this code here, and unfortunately there's not a better way to do this. So the software that's making that rotator work is inserted into the customer reviews widget via what's called short codes, and that's what you see here with these brackets. So what I did is I just copied over and over again, and then just replaced the inside whatever that review was. So you kind of have to get in the code and see. You have a short code, you have basically, see, you have a bracket and a bracket, then you have these 2 brackets, and the way the short codes work is there's a closing bracket, and that's what happens after here. So it's, again, it's kind of confusing, but once you figure out the pattern, it's not confusing. So if you want to edit this, make sure you look at the pattern and figure it out, and you can include more reviews, or simply, if you want to update, because I think there's maybe 10 in here, something to that effect, just go ahead and edit just within here. So get rid of this Linda review, put in whatever her quote is, put in the new name, which is in italics, and then of course the city in italics. So that'd be a really easy way to update these and not make a mistake. Okay, media. You don't really go into this section unless you want to just look at all the images that are here. These are all the images that are loaded on the site. You can actually see there are not that many. But as the site grows, this will grow. But there's not a lot of reason to be in here. comments. So once you get that blog going and people are commenting on your posts, their comments will be right here and you have to approve them. This just makes it so people don't just throw up whatever they want. So you'll get notices when those comments come in. You can log in here and approve what you want to show, and of course delete what you don't want. Now right here in the bottom, this is a form, and then let's see, let's go to, I think, update your information on this section. Well, actually here's a request for, this is a form too, I guess. So we have, this is a form, this is a form. So that's what this forms section that we're going to go into now is all about, and there's quite a few forms on this site, as you can see here. Everything from an agent referral form down to the update your information. So when you see these forms, there's a bunch of things that happens. Clicking edit will go straight into edit the form. Then under settings, we can update some things where the notices are set and confirmations and whatnot. And we're going to kind of go through a bunch of these. The great thing is if you want to make a new form, you just click duplicate. And what I mean by a new form that's very similar, so you don't have to repeat all your work. And let's quickly, before I go into the forms, so we talked about short codes with the rotating custom reviews, and that's exactly how these forms are also inserted. So let's go to all pages real quick, and let's go to the community, the payment. Here it is. I think this one, payment coupon requests, subpage of the community associations. Again, we have that. We're not in the visual like we would in a post. We're in that builder tab because again, it's a 2-column thing. And this one here is just your please provide your updated information. And this one here is what's called a short code. This is the form. It's the payment coupon request form. What I'm going to show you by not saving. So the way I got that was I just clicked within the visual editor. I clicked add form, and then I can just select form, like the move out notice. I don't want the title or the description to show, although I could, but for this sake of this one, I do not need that. So I want these unchecked. I hit insert form, and boom, our code was automatically generated. So what I did on this page specifically, then I would just highlight that and then do a Control X, which gets rid of it because there's no content there. And then I went back over here and then I would paste it in this other column, and that's really how that's done. So forms are inserted via this WordPress short code. So let's go back to our forms again. And this is the reason we have this window here. It's just checking to make sure that I really want to leave the page without saving, which I do. Okay, so now we're back, and here's our list of forms. I click edit, and you're going to see this is kind of a drag and drop thing. It's great. Say we don't want agent name to be first, so I just left click and I can drag and move it. Say I don't want it named agent name anymore, click edit. Click edit, there we go. I can rename it. I can make it required or not required. There's nothing over here on the advanced I need to do, which is great. This is a widget, which I'll show you here, say an advanced field right here. That's the address. So if I click address, now I've just added a new address block. And it actually shows up all the way at the bottom, right here. I can go in and edit. It's not being international. I can make it United States. We can decide we want to hide the second field, and we want to hide the state, whatever it is. You'll see this is all formatting. I'm gonna hit delete because I don't want that there. But basically, if you need a new form, you can look for one that already exists and just duplicate it, and then you come in here and you make your edits. And again, it's just drag and drop if you want the order different. And you can play with these fields. There's lots of different things that it can do. Radio buttons, drop down lists. So if you want to make a survey, you can do a survey, that type of thing. Now I'm going to move to the form settings page, and when I do that, it's going to confirm that I want to leave this page without saving, which I do. So now we're under the form settings up here. So this is the form description. If you remember in the short code, when we were inserting the short code, it asked, do you want to have the form description? Well, if I wanted that text to show, I can have it show, but I don't generally update this information. So there's not much that needs to be updated on this page, but the confirmations is important. For example, so you can see it says, thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly. That's what happens once they hit submit. You could change that, make it more appropriate for this form. This is the agent referral form, and that's probably an okay response. But you just click edit if you want to update the response, and it can be whatever you want. Notifications for this form. This is administration notification. So I just clicked edit to go in here. And there's a bunch of questions. So send to an email address. So it's going to the info@brinkpm.com. And when an email comes in, I'm having it insert the first and last name of the person submitting it. And I got these fields. You can see they look kind of complex. I just simply dragged here, and then I can click office name, and then the client office name would show up here. So it'd say first name, or actually I guess it put it in the front, didn't it? So I can move that, or I can leave it, put a space, so it'll have the office name, then the first name, then the last name. It's coming from the client email. Again, I just grabbed that wherever it says, there it is, client's email. I click that, and it just inserts it. So you don't need to learn anything. Same thing with the title, the subject. So if you want to do some filtering when it comes into your mail program, you can name this whatever you want. So right now it just says new Brink PM submission form, and then it has the form title. So it would insert automatically agent referral form. It makes it easier to know who to send that to. There's nothing fancy in the content of the message. Right now it's just going to shoot out the information. We can click update, and that'll be saved. We're not going to do that, so again, it's going to warn us that we're not saving. Oh, maybe it didn't. So that's the information. So you can see right now how many views these pages are getting, or these forms. Quick contacts getting so many. First of all, this has been active since the site was getting developed, so that's why that number is pretty high. And also, of course, it shows at the bottom of every page. But we'll see here, let's take the move out notice. Since the site only opened 5 days ago, we already have a move out notice. Under here, entries is going to show us the entries, or clicking here should also do the same thing. And we can actually see. So what's happening here is the information is being sent to you via email, because that's how the notifications are set up. But it's also being captured here in a database, which brings me to import export for the forms. Export's probably what you would need. Let's get this to load a little quicker. Here we go. So we want to export the entries. You probably won't use the export forms or import forms, but export entries. We need to click what form we want. We want the move out notice. Then it's going to show us all the fields. We could say we want them all, or we can unselect the ones we don't care about. We can actually select a date range by picking on the calendar. If you put nothing, of course it'll do the whole thing, and you click the download export file, and it gives you an Excel file. It has all the information. So that's true for every single form we have. Okay, so that's pretty much forms. Appearance. The only thing under appearance is the menus. So we have a bunch of menus. Let's talk about those. So we have the top menu. That's our main menu. And then some pages have this sub menu going on. Not all of them do, but that's a sub menu. I call these a hot links menu down here. And then at the bottom, these are kind of the footer menus right here. These two, we have this that one and this one here. So let's go back to the menus. So all these tabs here on the bottom, or on the top here, these are different menus. And as I click through this arrow, you'll see there's lots of them to edit. And they're intuitively named. So subpage for the tenant services. So when we're on tenant services, let's go there. And this is the submenu right here. So that's this one that we can edit. If we go back to, I'm going to click main navigation right here. Okay, so now right here, this is darker. You can see we're working on the main navigation. So the main navigation is this at the top. And you'll see we have, this is a hierarchy thing, kind of like the pages with the indents. So we have 4 at the top, right? Community associations all the way through available properties. Community association all the way through available properties. The indented, those are showing you the drop downs, which we have. The map is 1, and then the online application and the tenancy criteria, which matches up right here. Now, adding and subtracting pages is pretty easy. Over here you'll see pages. I'm going to click view all, and again it's going to show you the hierarchy of all the pages on the site. So let's say I want to add testimonials to this navigation. I would click testimonials, click add to menu, and just like the forums, it's going to drop that right to the bottom right here. And just like the forums, it's drag and drop. We can just left click and drag and drop to whatever position we want. If we don't want it in here anymore, we just click the arrow down, click remove, and it won't show up. Now everything we just did actually does not save until we hit save menu. Now since we made changes, of course, when I go to another menu, it's going to give us a warning. I'm going to go to the footer navigation menu, and again we're okay to leave the page because I'm not saving those changes. So here it says real estate blog, news, about us. Again, so that's this menu right here at the bottom with the real estate blog and news. And again, we can resort, we can add pages. See, these are categories because we scroll to the bottom. This is the categories section, so it's the same thing. You click that, hit add to menu, and it moves right over. We can also do custom links. If you wanted to link to Google, you would type in the website address for Google and then give it a label, call it Google, hit add to menu. Well, let's do it just to show you. Because sometimes you want it to go off-site. Click add to menu, and you'll see that Google now shows up here at the bottom as custom. And there it is. Now, in the hot links, let's go to the available properties hot link. Again, we're not going to save my changes. So something special about these hot links, which is what this row of menus are called, and just like the drop downs, we have images in there. So that's something you probably won't be able to do custom. That's managed through this what's called CSS classes, and so that's special code. So essentially the first one on the top of all these hot links, and then the first of the drop downs on the main, those are custom pages, or the pages are put in normal, but this class, this is what makes the image show versus just text show. So that's something you probably will not be able to update yourself, but pretty much everything else you can. Key thing to keep in mind, mostly on this menu and the sub menus, is you only have so much width. So there's actually no room on this main menu for a 5th category. You can really only go with 4. But if we go down here, we've got these 4, but there's room for 1 or 2 more. So you put them in and you just have to kind of test it out and see what works. All right. This section here, this is how we manage. Let's go back to the home page. Clicking the Brink logo takes us to the home page. This is how we manage the rotator. You'll see we have 4 images here that we can click these circles, or we can click these arrows and go through them, where it'll just rotate automatically. And you know what? I just found a mistake in the programming that I will fix. But right here's where you'll add those photos, and it's the same size images as the featured image, that 960 wide or 425 high, I think is what it was. And you'll go in here, and this is where you can add and subtract images. One thing to know, so this text that you see here, this was actually part of the image. It's not typed in anywhere. But all we're doing, in fact, since this is not working, let's go to the page. I'm going to hit add new, and then we're going to add a featured image. I won't go through completely, but this slider section that we're in right now works exactly the same way in regards to how you find your image, whether that image be on your computer or you want to use an existing image. And I don't understand why this website's acting so slow. It's not on my server. I'm going to click add new again, and hopefully it'll go. There we go. Sometimes if it kind of hangs and like it's taking forever, just do it again. Okay, so let's set the header image. And by doing that, we can select files from our computer, from the media library, which I already showed you the media library, but it's going to load here, and you can see there's already images here. So if we wanted to use an existing image, say we wanted to use this one, which is 960 by 425 high, that's the right size, that's going to work. We just hit the, for the page, a new page we use as featured image. And if we're in that rotator, it'll say something like insert to post or whatever, and you click that, and then that image will be added. If it's not already in your media library, of course, you hit from computer tab right over here, you click the select files, and you'll find it on your computer, and it will upload. So I'm sorry I can't show you because I do have a programming problem which I can fix. Normally there's going to show you, it looks just like a page or a post, and you click edit and you can go in and add images. It's pretty simple. This WP file base, this is how we're dealing with, let's see where these forms are. I think if we go to the portal, there's going to be a lot. So here's the employee portal, and I'm already logged in, so that's why all this is showing. Normally would show a login right here, but since I'm logged in the dashboard, I'm already logged in. So anyway, these documents that you see here that are linked, they're not just like on a plain page. They're done through this form or file base management system. So you can see here's all our documents. Some of these are actually links to websites. They're not just documents. And then they're in different categories. So actually, let me show you the categories first, and you'll see what we have. We have quite a few. It looks like 15 different categories, and I tried to intuitively name them. So if I go back to files, and we're going to add a new file, I'll show you how easy that is to do. So I think we scroll to the bottom here. Yeah. So we can upload a file, which by clicking that, it's going to open that same window, and we'll find the file on our computer. Then the other thing, if I click file URL, this is where I put in a website address. So what I do is I would select redirect download to URL. So that would be like the website address, google.com, literally we could do. But most of the time you'll probably use the upload. So you just click browse, and you go on your computer and find the image, not the image, the document you want to upload. Then all you need to do is give it a title right here and choose a category. That's literally all you do. So you're either going to upload a file, PDF, recommended because it's internet friendly. Word documents are not, but you can upload Word documents if that's what you wish. Or file URL, like put in the entire google.com. So that includes the http:// and then your address, google.com. And then choose redirect. And you don't need to scan remote file. That's not necessary. And then we just have Google. And just come to the bottom, hit add file, and it'll be added to that specific category. That's literally all there is to it. You can edit an existing one, like click that, just click the title, You'll see we're in here. So this one here this is actually a URL. There's the title. Here's the category. It's all that needed to be done. This was actually uploaded on the 15th. Again, that doesn't matter. Hit update. Like if you need to change that URL. So that's the file base. That's actually entered, if we go to all pages, as a short code. Short codes are used everywhere in WordPress. Here he is, employee portal. And you'll see we're using this builder again. And let's click edit. Daily work links. Here's the short code to that list. So now let's go to the employee portal. Daily work links. So we have these 3 that are showing up, and then underneath that, social links. So I hit the checkbox is okay for that, and you'll see this next one's social links, this one over here, and whatnot. And these 4 are all you have to really worry about on this employee portal page. Also, I think see how we have hierarchy going on again. This is the main tab right here, and then these are all the additional pages are right underneath the portal, the accounting, the association, and rental division. And the absolute last thing we need to deal with here is users. Here are all your users, all your employees with their usernames, email address, their role. You'll see we have 2 website administrators, the Brink PM profile, which I'm in right now, and then Dean's right here. Everybody else is listed as an employee. So the website manager sees everything you see here on the left when they're logged into WordPress. The employees only have access to the portal pages here on the front. So you can go in and edit if you need to change a password. Of course, you can add a new, just simply click add new. You need a username, email address. Putting in names is a good idea, of course, password, and you need to choose that they're an employee, or if they're someone who's going to work on the website, make them a website manager. Click your profile to update your information. Most likely only your password should you want to change that, which is at the bottom. Hit update profile and you're good to go. So that's a walkthrough of the Brink PM website. Includes everything but the rotator, which is pretty intuitive, especially since I already showed you how the images work. As long as you size them correctly, you should be good on updating those. Pages, widget, content, and posts, jobs are pretty self-explanatory. And again, so this long video, which is probably 45 minutes, will end up being right here. And what I recommend do is watch it through a couple times. Take notes when I'm discussing different sections, say pages, widget, content, forms, and take note of that. So when you're working on forms and you forget how to do something, you can reference the video at the specific time in the video and learn or remind yourself how those forms are done. So that's all I have for today. Thanks very much.